Hi and welcome. So today's video is another one in our renovation and doing yourself series basically. So let's talk tile grouting. So this is something you can do all on your own very easily, and we have done it a few times now. So we did our bathroom walls, bathroom floors and hallway floor, and now the kitchen floor. So without further ado, let's jump right into all the tile grouting and everything, what we do, how we do, step by step. And in the second half of the video, I'm showing you a way to freshen up your grouts on your tiles when they have been grouted for some time already and the grout needs refreshing. So let's go over a few things before. So things you need for grouting your tiles. So you need tile grout. Usually it's something you can mix together with water. Then you do need a spreader tool. There are different sizes to that, but if you do have smaller like 5 by 5, 10 by 10 tiles, or even smaller, it's easier to get the bigger one, spread it all over and then wash it off. For washing off later, you need a bigger sponge and a bucket of water. You also need some microfiber towels to haze it off, or like later on just go over the tiles again after you wash them. In some instructions you just wash your excess grout off, but we like to go over the tiles or the grouts with, there's specific tools too, but if you have electric cable for your indoor use cables basically, you don't have to get the specific tool. Cut a little maybe 10 to 20 centimeter portion of the cable. You're gonna bend it, and this is perfect for later on going over the grouts to make them look prettier. Here's my husband mixing our tile grout. You have to check the instruction label on your tile grout to see how much water and how much of the mixture do you need. For ours, we basically mixed it together, and the instructions said to let it sit for about 5 minutes and then mix it again, and then it was free to go and use. Its usage time for us was about 2 hours, but we actually saw it started to harden a little earlier, so don't mix a big portion at first. And here you can see the small spreader tool we use. So it's a silicone one. So we usually go at the same time with 1 to 3 lines of grout depending on the area. And my husband went first with just the grouting mix and pushed it very nicely in there. You want to go in diagonal or a crisscross motion and push the grouting mix very nicely into the tiles. And I started to come after him with the cable to finish off the grouts. Because we do it for ourselves, we don't do it on daily basis, and it's just basically we want to do it once and very nicely. This is why I go with the cable, and I also smooth it over often with my finger to make the grouts look very nice and even. So this is basically exactly what we did here, just one spreading the grout and the other fixing it up. So the first pull I do with the cable, I usually get a lot of the grouting mix off, that is excess mix. I usually put it back to the little bucket we have, so it can be pushed to another grout. And this way we're actually using up the most of it that is possible. There's no going waste, and basically this has been the best way. This is just something we've managed, this is our routine when we grout the tiles. You always can do it by yourself too, but doing it together, it's more fun. And you can share the different things you have to do. After we finished grouting the first section of the floor, I took the sponge and water to wash it off. Usually you have to let it sit around half an hour to 45 minutes depending on the grout mix. Just read the instruction again. And after that time you want to wash it over with wet sponge, but you do have to squeeze it dry enough so you don't wash the pigment off. So using a too wet sponge can wash off the pigment and you will be left with very uneven grouts. And after that you just go over and basically get the haze off that is left with a microfiber towel, and that's it. Then you let it sit for 24 hours and it's usable. You want to wet the grouts 1 to 3 times during that 24 hours. I used basically this time I used a floor mop, got it a little bit wet and just went over all the floor, and this way got the moisture into the grouts again. This way it hardens more evenly and don't crack. And this is basically how you go about it. So section by section, especially when you're doing it for the first time, don't mix too much mixture at once. Do it by sections. Even we do it by sections. It's just the workflow is better this way. Over the course of one day we did almost all the kitchen floor. We go about it quite quickly now. The first time was a trial and error kinda, because we went with a too big of a spatula to push the grout mix into the grouts, and this way we had so much more cleaning to do later on. And like I said, these floor tiles are more like matte and a little more rough on the surface, so the grouting mix gets very easily stuck in there, and washing them in the bathroom when we first did it was awful. It took us, I don't know, 2 to 3 hours to get the mixture off finally, like fully. And when we did our hallway we were smarter already and decided we're not gonna do it with a big spatula, rather we're gonna use a small one and go grout by grout. And funnily enough, it was actually a faster way to do it. Welcome to our hallway yet again, but we're not gonna work in our like entryway area today, but rather we're going to the bathroom. We wanted to freshen up the bathroom ones a little bit because they have some discoloration. They're kind of dirty, I think, or something. I'm gonna wash them first and then we're gonna use a grouting marker. So it's this type of thing. It's tile grout coating marker. Just comes as is. This one had white, black and beige, and we have beige grouts all over the place. So this is basically what we're gonna use. So I'm gonna first have to wash and clean and do everything like that on bathroom, and then we can get to that. What I basically did was I cleaned out our bathroom. I removed all the towels and everything, so it was easier if I had got water anywhere. And then I just basically started to vacuum. I went over the floor with the vacuum cleaner, and then I pulled out the pink stuff. So I needed something that can scrub really like rough from the tiles or like the grouts, because the grouts are very porous and there was so much dirt and stuff stuck to that, which I don't know, it's just accumulated over time. Even though I go over the tiles and grouts fairly often with different cleaning products that I have, but they still were very like uneven in coloration for some reason. Some were darker, some not. In the video they do seem more even and meshing more like better with the tiles later on, but basically I scrubbed it down. I got it pretty nice, and then I just rinsed it, went over with a sponge a little bit in some areas again, rinsed it, and I left it to dry until everything, all the grouts dried off, all the tiles and everything, so we could start going at it with the marker. So let's try this out. Let's figure out if it works, if it goes along with the grouts. They are kinda, I got them kinda nice, but at the same time they do kinda need a little bit of help in some areas. Some areas came out perfect basically, but some just need some more love to them. Oh no. Let's see. I'm gonna shake this, and then I'm gonna have to push it down. I'm gonna do it on the cardboard because I don't want to get it onto the ground. Okay, let's go. I don't know where I'm gonna do it. So let's try it on this one just to see how it works. I'm so afraid. Oh, okay, I can see the color now. Oh, whoa, it's so light. I think it will work. I don't know. Like I said, the tiles and the grouts matched better, or like looked matching better on the camera than they did in real life. In real life, the old grouting was very uneven, and a lot darker in some areas, and it showed. So I started to go over with the tile marker. I had to go over it a few times. It did look more contrasting, especially at first, but now I'm actually quite happy on how it turned out. It's a lot of crouching down and drawing basically, or like lines, but overall the finished product I could be very okay with. It looks different, definitely. I did a few coats to try to get it even. It was a lot of work in terms of that. They are lighter. I'm not used to seeing it like this. I think is better, like overall. So yeah, this is where we're at right now. I don't know. Almost a week since I did the bathroom tiles, or like the grouts with the grouting marker. I feel like it's a lot better. I'm getting used to it being a little lighter. I wished it was a little more beige, but it's okay. It's almost the same contrast level that we have in the kitchen with the tiles, because the grout actually dried a little lighter than it appears on the video when it's still a little wet. So now it's more brighter and lighter. So, and the same with the bathroom tiles and grouts. It looks more contrasted, but at the same time it looks much cleaner. We'll see, depending on how well it holds up over the time to all the washing and everything. I will probably update in terms of how the marker is doing. And yeah, so I do hope you enjoyed. Be sure to check on our other videos in our renovation series, and I will see you in my next video. So bye.